Parasite, Gu, breeding longevity path, starting from the love-enamored Gu. Author, Thousand Lakes True Person. Chapter 521. The Unrivaled Beauty in the Lake, Nation-Wrecking Jianziun. Someone curiously asked. Because he found that Jianziun, the sect master of Sky Demon Sect, Qi Qing Mojun, the sect master of Xuanyan Sect, and the lord of Haisha Palace, Sea-Splitting Demon King, were nowhere to be found, seemed to have vanished without a trace. Of course they've left. They've entered the demon-slaying secret realm many times before, naturally they have their own secrets. Perhaps they've found a hidden treasure within the demon-slaying secret realm. So they won't take us with them, they went treasure hunting on their own. After all, for a cultivator at the nascent soul late stage, they gain more treasures when they act alone. We should stop concerning ourselves with them and start our hunt. We only have a month. A nascent soul cultivator clenched his fists. Suddenly, the cultivators from the three great demon sects went their separate ways, beginning their exploration of the demon-slaying secret realm. Meanwhile, at another location in the demon-slaying secret realm, a few nascent Soul Sea clan members had quietly entered the demon-slaying secret realm. There were 3 late-stage nascent Soul Sea clan cultivators, enveloped by a terrifying aura of monsters. Besides them, there were a dozen mid-stage nascent Soul Sea clan cultivators, and tens of early-stage nascent Soul Sea clan cultivators. They came in full force, infiltrating the secret realm while the 3 great demon sects were unprepared. Elder Ling Feng, are we really going to break the prohibition array here and release the demons inside? The demon realm is soon to descend, we actually have no need to stir up extra trouble. A Sea clan cultivator questioned with some hesitation. Because their purpose for infiltrating the demon-slaying secret realm was simple, that is, they were trying to destroy the sealing formation inside to release all the demons. Doing so would release a massive amount of demons from the secret realm, which would deal a severe blow to the human cultivators in the Kanglan Sea area, possibly causing terrible losses. The Sea clan could then reap the benefits. Elder Ling Feng was the leader of this operation, a Sea clan cultivator at the nascent soul late stage, only second to the elder of the Sea clan. He commanded great respect. Of course, we must do this. Even though the ancient demon realm is soon to descend, the human cultivators should not be underestimated. Even compared to the ancient era, the present human clan might be much weaker. Yet to truly crush the human clan isn't as simple as one imagines. Now is the perfect time to release the demons here and severely injure the human clan before the gateway appears. In this way, as soon as the gateway appears, we can easily wipe out the human cultivators and rule over the Kanglan Sea area. This is the dream of countless cultivators in our Sea clan. Elder Ling Feng's eyes flashed with zeal, extremely excited. He harbored deep hatred for the human clan. Especially since the recent major battle between the Sea clan and the human clan led to many Sea clan cultivator deaths. Among them were many of his relatives and friends. Therefore, if there was a chance to make the human clan pay, he would strike without any hesitation, even add insult to injury. Furthermore, the demon-slaying secret realm is not simple, it's the ruins of the divinity transformation sect, demon-slaying sect, from the ancient era. It contains a lot of the demon-slaying sect's legacy. It's said that the demon-slaying sect not only like to slaughter demons, but also our demon clan. Countless demon cultivators have been killed by the disciples of the demon-slaying sect. In the ancient era, many demon cultivators would change color at the mention of the demon-slaying sect. The reason they were so terrifying was because they mastered a demon-slaying sword technique. They also forged many demon-slaying flying swords, each cultivator had one. These cultivation techniques and treasures have a great destructive power against both our demon clan and demons. Our demon clan's powerful bodies are of virtually no use against these sword techniques, it means certain death upon contact. So under any circumstances, we can't allow the legacy of the demon-slaying sect to be spread. Otherwise, the damage it would do to our demon clan would be too huge, this place is simply a menace. The one speaking was Elder Qing Yat, also a late-stage nascent soul cultivator. His eyes flashed with a trace of eerie dark light, making people shudder. He seemed to be filled with a deep killing intent. It seems that this demon-slaying secret realm is indeed a menace. We must destroy this haunted place. Many of the Sea clan cultivators did not take it seriously at first, but upon learning that the demon-slaying sect left behind such cultivation techniques specifically targeting the demon clan, they were taken aback. If these got disseminated and fell into the hands of the human cultivators of this era, it would spell disaster. By then, countless demons would be slaughtered. This was something they could not tolerate. All right, enough of the idle talk. The three great demon sects are certainly unaware of our actions. Because there are 4 entrances to the demon-slaying secret realm, and the 3 great demon sects only control one of them. We, the Sea clan, also have control over one of them, but it has never been known to humans. As for the remaining 2, nobody knows where they are. After 1,000 years of investigation, we, the Sea clan, have finally figured out some key points about the demon-slaying secret realm. At its center stands a heavenly spiritual treasure, the 8 Desolations Demon Sealing Tower. This heavenly spiritual treasure holds a large amount of demons. If we destroy this place, surely we can release a large number of demons. When that time comes, these human beings will be doomed. Absolutely doomed. The speaker was Elder Fishbone, also a late-stage nascent soul cultivator. Chapter 522. The Unrivaled Beauty in the Lake, Nation-Wrecking Qianziun. Alright. Hearing this, numerous Sea clan cultivators immediately obeyed and flew towards the location of the 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower. Boom! At this moment, in a valley of the demon-slaying secret realm, a flicker of light suddenly shone, revealing an endless force of void. A teleportation array unexpectedly appeared in this place. The next second, a figure appeared in the middle of the valley. It was Zhou Sui. He had used the ancient teleportation array of the Kurong sect, and had directly transported into this sub-teleportation array. Very good, very good. This array has survived tens of thousands of years and is still intact. The premium spirit stones inside it are still there and have not been damaged by anyone else. It seems this place is quite secluded. Even after tens of thousands of years, it has not been discovered by anyone. But I wonder where this place is. However, according to the information from the object searching goo, I can certainly find the 8 desolate heist gold in this place. Zhou Sui stroked his chin. He sensed the information from the sub-teleportation array and was very satisfied. Because the array was intact and had not been damaged by anyone for tens of thousands of years. It had been continuously running. Furthermore, the premium spirit stones inside contained enough energy to at least initiate it 100 times. There was no need to worry about the array's energy becoming exhausted. If there were any accidents, he could use the power of the array to escape. However, what kind of place is this and why is the nature's spiritual energy around here so bizarre? It seems to be filled with powerful demonic qi. Could this place be sealing a large number of demons? Instantly, Zhou Sui squinted his eyes. He could sense the pervasive demonic qi all around. This was fundamentally different from other places in the cultivation world. Only a place that sealed a large number of demons could be filled with demonic qi. In other words, a lot of demons must exist here. Boom! At this moment, he immediately activated the power of his heart eyes and spread it in all directions. In an instant, the area thousands of miles around appeared before his sea of consciousness. Under his perception, he seemed to be in the depths of a huge mountain range, surrounded by primitive forests filled with lush vegetation. Moreover, it was completely deserted around here, without a single human in sight. No, it seemed like there was a human after all. In another valley, there seemed to be a lake, and inside it was a stunning beauty taking a bath. Hey, really? Isn't this Qianziun, the sect master of the Sky Demon sect? Zhou Sui blinked his eyes. He sensed that Qianziun, the sect master of the Sky Demon sect, was in a small lake nearby. Moreover, the small lake also seemed to be unusual, containing a huge amount of spiritual power and medicinal power. She was absorbing the vast medicinal power in the lake to temper her body. A prohibition array was also arranged around the valley, hiding it from view. It was unknown how she had found this valley with a lake. Is this real, or am I imagining things? Have I accidentally teleported into the headquarters of the Sky Demon sect? Or is this some other place? Zhou Sui was full of curiosity. However, since he had met an acquaintance, and moreover Qianziun had been affected by the obsession goo, she could be considered one of his own now. So, if he wanted to know what this place was, it would be better to simply go over and ask. Whoosh! With those thoughts, Zhou Sui's figure flashed, and he immediately left this place, heading towards a valley hundreds of miles away. In no time, under the perception of his heart eyes, he skillfully passed through the prohibition array of the valley, found the gap in the array, and entered the valley. Who's there? Qianziun, who was originally cultivating in the lake, absorbing the vast medicinal power inside the lake, startled. This lake happened to be the well-known Lake of 10,000 Medicines in the secret realm of demon slaying. It is said that this is a gargantuan medicinal lake designated for the true disciples of the demon-slaying sect to perform marrow-cleansing vein cutting. It contains the medicinal power of numerous thousand-year-old spiritual medicines. The first time she entered the secret realm of demon slaying, she accidentally found the Lake of 10,000 Medicines. As a result, through the medicinal power of the Lake of 10,000 Medicines, she performed marrow-cleansing vein cutting, enhanced her physique and thus surpassed the cultivators of her generation, eventually becoming the sect master of the Sky Demon sect. Even after advancing to the nascent soul late stage, she would come to the Lake of 10,000 Medicines whenever the secret realm of demon slaying opened, absorbing the vast medicinal power within to increase the mana of her nascent soul. Thanks to the medicinal power of the Lake of 10,000 Medicines, her internal mana made leaps and bounds. She saved countless years of painstaking cultivation. However, now, she felt a strange aura approaching the Lake of 10,000 Medicines. A spark of killing intent surged in her heart immediately. Because she does not allow anyone other than herself to know the existence of the Lake of 10,000 Medicines. That is one of her biggest secrets. Sect Master Qian, long time no see. I didn't expect to run into you here. Zhou Sui arrived at the edge of the lake, looking at Qian Ziun who was in the lake, and slightly smiled. You are Zhou Sui, the Dao partner of my disciple? But how did you end up in the secret realm of demon slaying? Upon seeing Zhou Sui appear, the killing intent in Qian Ziun's heart disappeared instantly, her beautiful eyes became somewhat gentler, and she found herself unable to raise any killing intent towards this man. Perhaps it was because he was her disciple's Dao partner, love the house and its crow, perhaps. Boom! With that thought in mind, she waved her hand and instantly got dressed in the lake. This is a magical treasure-level dress, which naturally wouldn't fear any water and it's even waterproof. Following that, a breathtaking beauty in a light black transparent dress slowly walked out from the lake. She revealed her long white and slender legs, boasting an impressive figure, ready to rationalize to the world. Her body was enveloped by irresistible charm, which stirred up one's heart palpitations. Every man who saw this would undoubtedly be swayed and kneel under her skirt. Sure enough, she is without question the number one beauty of the magic door, also known as the number one enchantress in the Kanglan Sea area. She's absolutely a national calamity. An invisible heavenly demonic power spread from her body, she lightly stood on the water's surface, and walked towards them as if she was a goddess descended from heaven. People's hearts seemed to stop beating. I am not too sure either. I had discovered an ancient teleportation array. After activation, it brought me to this place. I had originally intended to ask others in the vicinity about this place. Instead, I ran into Sect Master Qian. How fortunate! Zhou Sui slightly smiled, speaking half-truths and half-lies, without flinching in his gaze. He secretly sighed in his heart. As expected, this Qian Ziun indeed topped the list of beauties, and had a widespread reputation. Even he, who had seen many stunning women, couldn't help but throb his heart when he saw Qian Ziun. An ancient teleportation array? Directly teleport to the secret realm of demon slaying. Your luck is indeed extremely good. No wonder you were able to form your nascent soul at 100 years old. It's likely that you are enveloped in great fortune, finding treasures wherever you go. Could it be that it was due to all these various opportunities that you managed to form your nascent soul at 100 years old? Qian Ziun blinked her beautiful eyes, her heart full of astonishment. This was the first time in her life she encountered such a thing. She had previously heard that in the cultivation world, there were those known as children of destiny, who often change misfortune into fortune and obtain numerous opportunities. But she had never seen one before. Could the man before her eyes be one of these children of destiny? Chapter 523. Thousands of sect masters, please respect yourselves, I am not an ordinary man. As for that, I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that I won some treasures in a chaotic manner. Perhaps I was just lucky, and that's why I successfully achieved nascent soul. Zhou Sui said with an unknowingly simple face, being remarkably humble. What? Seeing Zhou Sui's innocent demeanor, Qian Ziun was speechless. If the outer world cultivators knew what this man has said, they would fume with rage until they pass out. You see, other cultivators spend huge efforts to obtain such fortunes. They often have to experience life and death crises before possibly succeeding. Moreover, many cultivators lose their lives after undergoing such trials. The number of cultivators who can genuinely achieve the nascent soul stage can be 1 in a billion. Yet, this man managed to achieve the nascent soul stage without a fuss. It's safe to say, this man's good fortune is astounding. That's right. No wonder my disciple, Chu Dai, wants to marry him. It was love at first sight. After marrying him, she escaped many calamities and successfully achieved nascent soul. Her cultivation progress advanced by leaps and bounds. Perhaps my disciple knows that this man is a child of good fortune, and she wants to cultivate using his good luck. At this moment, Qianziun had an epiphany. She slightly understood her disciple's thoughts. Her disciple wants to cultivate using this man's good luck. No wonder she's willing to share her husband with other women. Truly a far-sighted plan. Even though fortune is intangible, it genuinely exists. If one's fate is bad, even a cultivator with a heavenly spirit root might not survive the foundation establishment stage. This is the role of good luck. With these thoughts, Qianziun looked at Zhou Sui with gentler eyes. Internally, she was slightly tempted. Perhaps, she could use this man's good luck to aid in her own cultivation advancement. Do not underestimate her, being a senior cultivator at the nascent soul late stage. But to become a god transformation cultivator in the future, the probability is slim. Even if she forced her divinity transformation, it would be a life and death gamble. If no external force assisted her, she's most likely unable to reach divinity transformation in her lifetime. The issue is she's only over 700 years old, and she still has 300 or 400 years before her life runs out. How could she be willing to die without making a breakthrough to divinity transformation? Hence, she's willing to try any method, whatever it may be. Since you're here, it must be fate. You're lucky to run into me. If you encountered some other nascent soul cultivator, you most probably would have died. Qianziun looked at Zhou Sui. Then, she began to recount all the facts about the secret realm of demon slaying. After all, the Sky Demon sect has explored this place for 1,000 years and is thoroughly familiar with it. So this is the remnant site of the God Transformation sect. Hearing all this, Zhou Sui rubbed his chin. No wonder the object-searching Gu indicated that there's 8 desolate heist gold here. Perhaps, the 8 desolation demon sealing array was built by the demon-slaying sect itself. The Kurong sect and demon-slaying sect from the past were brotherly sects. The two significant forces considered each other as their own, lending a hand as needed. Under the circumstances of the ancient era, human clans naturally unite. Because if human clans did not unite, they would have long been extinguished by demons and the demon clan. They wouldn't have been able to hold up to this point. Exactly, but this secret realm world only opens for a month. It's already been about 2 or 3 days now. If you want to proceed with exploring this secret realm world, you'd have to start quickly. Of course, this lake in front of us is not simple. It's the lake of 10,000 medicines created by the demon-slaying sect. It contains the medicinal properties of many thousand-year-old spiritual medicines, capable of cleanse marrow and cutting veins for the cultivators. However, after my multiple devouring sessions, there's not much medicinal power left. Qianziun spoke with a touch of regret. After all, the essential component of the lake of 10,000 medicines is the 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine, requiring constant replenishment. But where can we find so many 1,000-year-old spiritual medicines now? With her repeated devouring of its medicinal power, she nearly drained the entire lake of 10,000 medicines. No worries, one man's gain is another's loss. Since there's not much medicinal power left in the lake of 10,000 medicines, it just means it wasn't meant for me. I can look for other opportunities. Zhou Sui was very calm. He wasn't interested in the luck given by the lake of 10,000 medicines. Once he uses the medicine Gu to cultivate a vast amount of 1,000-year-old spiritual medicines, who knows how many lakes of 10,000 medicines he could foster. This is just child's play for him. No wonder you're a genius with the potential for God transformation. Not only is your aptitude astonishing, your Dao heart is also rather resolute. You don't even care for the lake of 10,000 medicines. Just how much fortune have you acquired? To be honest, I'm kinda starting to like you. Are you interested in spending a night of joy with me? After all, my disciple isn't here. No one would know. I wouldn't tell my disciple either. Qianziun looked at Zhou Sui seductively, her breath as fragrant as orchids and her body radiating limitless charm. An invisible heavenly demon power was released, seemingly trying to bewitch Zhou Sui's mind. But such bewitching power is merely child's play for Zhou Sui and not worth mentioning. Sect Master Qian, please maintain your dignity. You are Dai's teacher, how can you do something like this? Zhou Sui righteously refused, clearly rejecting Qianzhun's seduction, showing his gentlemanly nature. He realized right away that this was one of Qianzhun's schemes. She clearly wanted to toy with him. If she were indeed a promiscuous witch, she wouldn't have maintained her primordial yin body until now. Chapter 524. Thousands of sect masters, please respect yourselves, I am not an ordinary man. Obviously, an ordinary man didn't even have the privilege to hold her hand, let alone touch her. What does it matter, she responded, it's just a bit of fun. We're all nascent soul cultivators, so, we don't mind such worldly courtesies. Moreover, Zhou Sui, with your many companions, you must be used to such things. Qianzhun blinked her beautiful eyes, clearly not ready to give up. Indeed, I am accustomed to it. It's not my first time. But such acts between a man and a woman still require feelings. Otherwise, what would be the difference between this and visiting the brothel? This is not just a fancy talk, it's my Taoist heart. Taoist Jian, you're well respected in a predecessor, so it's only natural that I respect you. I also hope you'd respect me. Zhou Sui projected an image of righteousness, combined with his handsome face, he was indeed like a Taoist holy sun descended to earth, radiating an aura of sanctity. This. At this sight, Qianzhun's heart fluttered. For a witch like her, she had seen countless unsavory acts and had encountered numerous deceivers. She had never seen such a righteous cultivator. Ordinary people had also spoken such grand words, but she could immediately see through their hypocrisy, see their rotten cores beneath their golden exteriors. No man could fool her senses. With her cultivation of the sky demon strategy, she could see others' heart demons and realize their weaknesses. But now, staring into Zhou Sui's eyes, she saw purity and perfection, like a star, not a hint of any heart demon. Undoubtedly, such a man would never lie. With such handsome looks and beautiful eyes, how could he possibly lie? The state of understanding of Dao heart. There's no existence of heart demon in this man, she muttered to herself. How is this possible? Qianzhun's heart trembled. She felt an excitement surge within her, unable to believe her eyes as she looked at Zhou Sui. Most cultivators, regardless of their level of cultivation, all had their heart demon. Even demon cultivators like her had heart demons. It's virtually impossible to eliminate it completely. Only those who possess innocence and purity like a child could possibly have no heart demons. The problem was, such people were even rarer than heavenly spirit root cultivators. She never thought she would see one, right in front of her. It's no wonder this man advanced rapidly in cultivation, achieving the nascent soul at just 100 years old. With such innocence, he probably considered the heart devil tribulation as nothing. Now she understood, why witches from the demon path pursued Taoist holy sons, while saintesses from the righteous path liked demon heirs. It was all about human nature. People always covet what they don't have. As a witch, she had seen too many filths and become accustomed to life's darkness. Naturally, she gravitated towards the light. It was like a firefly's glow suddenly appearing in the endless darkness, inevitably becoming an invaluable treasure to her. Even though she usually despised the corrupt, and looked down upon the righteous, and would never sacrifice herself for the world like a saint. It didn't stop her from admiring saints or even aspiring to be like them. She even hoped for a world where everyone was a saint and she was the only demon cultivator. In such a world, she would find paradise. Ah, this is wonderful, truly wonderful. I didn't expect that in the world there'd be such an innocent man. He's simply the perfect toy. I really want to play with him, to make this man completely depraved, to become a thorough Azura. Dai, I'm sorry. He's your man, but I've taken a liking to him. This forms part of my path to enlightenment. If successful, I might achieve divinity transformation. Qianzhun's face flushed with excitement. She felt increasingly thrilled. The ultimate technique of her Sky Demon sect cultivation Sky Demon strategy requires making other cultivators fall into the demonic path. The more she turned, and the higher their qualities, the greater her rewards. It was like Buddhist cultivators had, the more beings they saved, the more grace they'd received, allowing them to ascend to paradise. The demon sect was similar. If they could make others fall, they'd receive the power of heavenly demon, which would elevate their cultivation and allow them to become the king of devil. Gazing at Zhou Sui, she felt increasingly satisfied. Perhaps her path to divinity transformation lay in him. At this moment, Zhou Sui blinked. He felt an increasing sense of affection radiating from Qianziun, but it was somewhat twisted and dark. It seemed that his rejection hadn't decreased her favorability towards him but had instead increased it. Indeed, these nascent soul women cultivators were all masochists. The more you offered them, the more they'd reject you. Only by rejecting them, would their favorability increase. All right then, if you are not willing, I won't force you, she conceded. If you ever change your mind, you can always come to find me. The door to my room is always open to you. Qianziun's eyes were full of seduction as she gazed at Zhou Sui, as if she could fall into his arms at any moment. This creature. At this sight, Zhou Sui couldn't help being stirred slightly. He had to admit, he was nearly swayed. This woman was definitely a full-fledged witch. Chapter 525. Thousands of sect masters, please respect yourselves, I am not an ordinary man. Every movement, every expression of hers, was filled with infinite charm. Even he, a man who has been through countless battles, was having a hard time controlling himself. A typical cultivator would probably already have lost his Dao heart to her. Ahem, friend Qian, please stop the teasing. Since you've claimed this area, I won't compete with you, he said. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave first. Zhou Sui felt that he could not continue to stay with this seductress, otherwise he would not be able to control himself. Where are you planning to go? Qianziun asked curiously. Well, I'm currently not sure, perhaps I'll go around. Who knows, I might come across some fortuitous encounters. Zhou Sui said. Fortuitous encounters? Upon hearing this, Qianziun's eyes sparkled. She thought of the fact that this man was a son of fortune, and that he must have extraordinary luck. He had stumbled upon an ancient teleportation array by accident and thus entered the demon-slaying secret realm. She knew that the three major demon sects had invested greatly just to find an entrance into the demon-slaying secret realm, and yet, he casually strolled in. His luck was truly extraordinary. Even though the three major demon sects now controlled this secret realm, nascent soul cultivators would still need to pay a considerable price to enter. Unlike him, who moved freely as if the demon-slaying secret realm was his own home. Obviously, if she follows this man, she might also receive a great fortune. She had been to the demon-slaying secret realm several times. Although she had gained quite a lot from the previous trips, she found it increasingly difficult to find new opportunities. If things continued this way, she worried that she might end up with nothing for this venture. Therefore, she also wanted to take advantage of this man's luck to help herself find new chances. Moreover, she was curious to see just how lucky this man really was. If that's the case, perhaps I could accompany you. After all, this is the demon-slaying secret realm, and you're not familiar with it. With my help, you'll quickly become familiar with the surroundings. Moreover, my cultivation is fairly advanced. If we meet other nascent soul cultivators, or maybe even demons, I could certainly be of some help. Qianziun fixed her gaze on Zhou Sui, determined to stick with this man no matter what. No matter how he would reject her, she would follow him closely. Well. All right, if friend Qian wishes to accompany me, it would indeed be my honor. Hearing this, Zhou Sui hesitated for a moment, but ultimately agreed. He could see that refusing her would be fruitless. This woman had clearly made up her mind to follow him. But it didn't matter, in the end, this woman would become his Dao partner sooner or later. Even if she learned some of his secrets, it wouldn't pose a major problem. Moreover, by staying with her, his affection points would increase rapidly, accelerating the pace of his conquest. Great then, where are you planning to go? Qianziun asked curiously. Well, I sense some opportunities in that direction. We could head that way and see. Zhou Sui immediately pointed northeast. According to the instructions of the object-searching Gu, the location of the 8 desolate heist gold was in that direction. He hadn't forgotten his objective for this venture. All right. Qianziun had no objections, she was eager to witness this man's extraordinary luck for herself. A day later, Zhou Sui and Qianziun were flying off into the distance. Given the vast scope of the demon-slaying secret realm, which spanned countless miles, it would take a while to reach their destination. At that moment, Zhou Sui detected the presence of dozens, perhaps hundreds of demons on the plain ahead of them. Their bodies were cloaked in a black demonic qi, and they were the size of bulls. The demons detected Zhou Sui and Qianzhun's aura the instant they arrived, reacting with the same fervor as starving wolves would upon sighting meat. Without a hint of sanity left, they rushed at the pair with utter madness. A group of golden core level demons. Zhou Sui narrowed his eyes. He held his flying sword, slashing it across the demons. The sword light flickered, carrying an infinite aura of destruction. After reaching the fourth stage of swordsmanship, the state of sword heart, his sword chi had become sharper, omnipresent, and using everything as a sword. Whenever he attacked, it was silent and traceless. By the time his enemies discovered him, their lives had already been taken away. Thud! 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 The next moment, hundreds of sword lights struck the demons, instantly dismembering them into hundreds of pieces, like a butcher taking apart a cow, and immediately their demon cores shattered. They immediately fell to the ground, lifeless. Such a powerful sword art! You've reached the state of sword heart in the fourth stage of swordsmanship. Did you cultivate your nascent soul with the art of the sword? The sight left Qianzhun wide-eyed and awestruck. She had assumed that Zhou Sui had reached his nascent soul stage in the ordinary manner of consuming a lot of resources. Who would have thought that this man would turn out to be a sword cultivator? In that case, his phenomenal progress couldn't just be attributed to massive amounts of resources, it had to be due to his amazing talent. Even if the old men from Tianjian sect knew about this, they would go insane with excitement. After all, even for an ancient sect like Tianjian, cultivating a nascent soul sword cultivator would be a tremendous challenge. Chapter 526. Thousands of sect masters, please respect yourselves, I am not an ordinary man. Not to mention a sword cultivator establishing a nascent soul at 100 years old. No, 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 I am not a sword cultivator. I just dabble a little in swordsmanship. Zhou Sui said modestly. Dabble a little. This isn't as simple as dabbling, this is the state of the sword heart, the fourth stage of swordsmanship. In the entire Kanglan Sea, only a handful of cultivators have reached this level. And yet this man claims he's just slightly proficient. Qianzhun's mouth twitched, she didn't even know what to say. But what is going on? Why are there so many demons in this demon-slaying secret realm? Zhou Sui frowned, within one day, he had encountered many demons. Although their strengths were not considerable, they were at most in the Golden Core realm or Foundation Establishment realm. However, they were numerous and countless. He didn't even know how many demons he had slain by hand, he was tired of this annoyance. There is no choice. The demon-slaying realm is inherently a prison for sealing demons. These demons have long lifespans, even if they are imprisoned for tens of thousands of years, they do not die. What's even more terrifying is that these demons have strong reproductive abilities and can demonize other creatures. As time goes by, the demon-slaying secret realm is filled with a vast number of demons. And these demons, unless their demon cores are shattered, will not die even if their limbs are cut off. They could even quickly recover. Qianzhun said in a low voice. Although the three great demon sects have resided in the demon-slaying secret realm for 1,000 years, they have only ever been able to explore part of the demon-slaying secret realm. In a short period, it would be impossible to wipe out all these demons. So they frequently encounter large-scale demon attacks. Naturally, the demons they encounter are only low-level ones. For nascent soul cultivators, dealing with these is not too difficult. At this moment, something struck Zhou Sui's mind. He sensed that he was getting closer and closer to the 8 desolate heist gold. Upon raising his head to look, he saw in the distance, a towering giant tower appearing. It was thousands of feet high, like a towering mountain, covered in dense mysterious runes and emanating an ancient and primitive aura. It seemed that this tower possessed an unfathomable power, as if a god had descended. This is the nascent soul sect's demon-slaying sect's spiritual treasure, the 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower. It is said to house a vast number of nascent soul-level demons, even divinity transformation-level demons. To this day, these demons might still be alive within this massive tower. You don't mean to say that the opportunity you sense is this 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower, do you? Don't dream, this place is enclosed by a 5th stage superior formation. Even we nascent soul cultivators cannot get in, we can only sigh in envy. Qianzhun said helplessly. When the 3 great demon sects first discovered the 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower, they were overjoyed. After all, this was a legendary spiritual treasure, the most formidable treasure in this realm, entailing significant divine power. Each spiritual treasure becomes the sect treasure for the nascent soul sect. The power that erupts is on par with any nascent soul sect. If any sect were to acquire the spiritual treasure, they could at least suppress the air transport for a myriad of years and no one would dare provoke it. Unfortunately, they could not get close to the 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower. Because the surroundings were already enclosed by a 5th stage superior formation. If a forced assault was attempted, the attacker would inevitably suffer backlash from the formation and perish. Over time, no cultivator found interest in this place anymore. They usually bypassed it. After all, they only had 1 month to explore the demon-slaying secret realm. This was an opportunity that only came once every 100 years. So naturally, they would not waste precious time on this unreachable place. So in other words, acquiring this spiritual treasure would be equivalent to obtaining the greatest opportunity in this secret realm. Zhou Sui rubbed his chin. In some aspects that is indeed true, but it's impossible. Unless you can break the 5th stage formation here. Qianziun looked at Zhou Sui with an odd expression. Although she knew this man had established a nascent soul at 100 years old and had high cultivation talents, that was unrelated to formation talent. Even among many nascent soul cultivators, the highest attainment in formations was only the 3rd stage level. As for the 4th stage level, that was a distant dream. As for the 5th stage formation level, that was practically legendary and impossible to reach. Well, I do have some knowledge in formations. Maybe I can give it a try. Zhou Sui let out a small smile. After all, he harnessed the power of the Array Heartgu, and the current Array Heartgu had already advanced to the 5th stage level. This made breaking a mere 5th stage formation a piece of cake. Of course the Array Heartgu was not on this clone, it was on the island of the Kurong sect. But this was a minor issue. When he sends a message to his real body, the Array Heartgu will be brought over. He believed it wouldn't take too long to break this 5th stage superior formation. He knew that if he wanted to acquire the 8 desolate heist gold, he would probably have to enter this area. Some knowledge. Chapter 527. Thousands of sect masters, please respect yourselves, I am not an ordinary man. At these words, Qianziun's mouth twitched, and she couldn't help thinking about what had just happened. It seemed that this man's swordsmanship was also somewhat accomplished. But she didn't know about his formation cultivation level. But considering he had reached the 3rd stage and even the 4th stage was already impressive, after all, this man was only just over 120 years old. Even if he had begun studying in the womb, he couldn't have learned that much, could he? In no time, Qianziun and Zhou Sui had approached the area. Around the Heavenly Spirit Route 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower, a region of hundreds of miles was enveloped by a giant array barrier, just like a turtle shell, encasing the whole area. Mysteriously, within the depths of the array barrier, countless stars seemed to twinkle and shift, unfathomably deep and infinitely mysterious. No force of any kind could break through this triple-layered array barrier. Even a full-on strike by God transformation cultivators would probably not shake the triple-layered barrier. Let alone a mere nascent soul cultivator. Even with hundreds of years of onslaught, it would be hard to shake such an array barrier. So, over 1,000 years, the cultivators from the 3 major demon sects could only sigh with helpless regret. No wonder it's a 5th-order formation. Indeed, it is infinitely mysterious and deep, with not a single flaw. Upon seeing this formation, Zhou Sui was thoroughly impressed. With his rank as a 5th-order formation master, he could immediately see the strength of this formation. Surely the 5th-order formation masters of the ancient times were all extraordinary. There was no way the formation masters of this era could compare. Even though tens of thousands of years had passed, this formation was still continuously operating. Now you see its power. This 5th-order formation is even more formidable than the Kurong sect's 5th-order grand formation. Even when all our formation masters from the 3 demon sects work together, we can't crack it. I advise you to leave. Although there are indeed treasures here, we simply can't get in. Qianziun spoke gravely. No rush, let's just look for now. Zhou Sui gave a faint smile, without any explanation, and sat cross-legged on the ground, beginning to perceive the formation here. Seeing this, Qianziun also had no choice but to wait with him. A few days later, another Zhou Sui clone finally came through the teleportation array, not only bringing the array Heartgu, but also the teleportation worm, robbery thunder worm, gold-eating bug, dream soul goo, and other principal battle goo insects. After all, to get the 8 desolate heist gold, he had brought out all his principal goo insects, leaving nothing to chance. Of course, this clone hidden himself using the power of heart, evading Qianzhun's perception, and at another place, he inserted the array heart goo. Boom! In almost an instant, the array heart goo transformed into a golden energy, instantly merging into the prohibition array. Just like a disease, it infiltrated the entire formation, leaving no corner untouched. Obviously, the array heart goo that had ascended to the fifth realm was not comparable to its former self. In the past, it would take the array heart goo several years to successfully infiltrate a fifth-order formation. But now, it had succeeded in infiltrating in the blink of an eye, gaining control of this formation. It was evident that the development speed of array heart goo was astonishing. So that is it, this is a fifth-order premium formation called the Northern Dipper Demon Slaying Formation. Zhou Sui's eyes sparkled with sharpness. Once the array heart goo controlled this fifth-order formation, he immediately knew the secret of this formation. The prohibition array that enveloped the heavenly spirit root 8 desolation demon sealing tower was just a part of it. In fact, this formation covered the entire demon-slaying secret realm. The moment a demon tried to escape, this fifth-order formation would activate immediately, unleashing the power to slay demons, and kill any demons that tried to escape. So even if this secret realm world had existed for tens of thousands of years, to this day, no demon had been able to escape. What's going on? Did you find a flaw in this prohibition array? At this point, Qianzhun noticed Zhou Sui's expression and couldn't help asking curiously. Yes, I have gained control over this formation. Now we can go in. Zhou Sui nodded. What? At this shocker, Qianzhun's eyes widened in surprise. She almost thought she had misheard. What did he mean by controlling this formation? They can go in now? You should know, this is a fifth-order premium formation, complex beyond imagination. In the past, the three major demon sects, together for over 1,000 years, many fourth-order formation masters had not been able to find any flaws. But now, this man had only been watching from the outside for a few days and effortlessly cracked it. Is he even human? Boom! Before Qianzhun could say anything more, Zhou Sui waved his hand and immediately opened a temporary portal in the giant array barrier, large enough for several people to enter. In no time, Qianzhun, who was still in a daze, was taken into the array barrier by Zhou Sui. We're in. Qianzhun stuttered her words. She, the domineering sect master of the Sky Demon sect, a cultivator with incredibly deep stratagems, had been shocked into a daze these past few days, and was in a state of complete bewilderment. She simply couldn't believe that Zhou Sui had easily cracked the array barrier that had been plaguing the demon sect for 1,000 years so effortlessly. For a time, she couldn't come to terms with it. Yes, we're in. As I said before, I'm slightly accomplished in formations. Zhou Sui gave a faint smile. This. Qianzhun eyed the man with intrigue. She didn't know what to say. If this kind of formation cultivation level is considered just slightly accomplished, then the demon sect's formation masters were all useless. But she knew how powerful those fourth-order formation masters were and they certainly couldn't be considered useless. The only explanation is that this man in front of her is a monster. Not only was his cultivation aptitude extraordinarily high, but his talent in swordsmanship and formations was also once in 1,000 years. Such a figure, even if he appeared in the ancient era, must have been an extraordinary character who would have left a legend behind. No wonder he's hailed as a genius with the potential for divinity transformation. Compared with him, oneself, a cultivator with a heavenly spirit root aptitude, seemed like a despicable existence. After all, one's own talent only lies in cultivation and skills. As these thoughts crossed her mind, her pretty face blushed, and her pulse seemed to race. If she could win over this genius with the potential for divinity transformation, wouldn't she be defying the heavens? Regretfully, this man was already fancied by her disciple. But it didn't matter, it was not too late now. Who said that if a woman had him, she couldn't snatch him away? Let's go inside and see. Zhou Sui, oblivious to the bizarre thoughts in this strange woman's mind, was very excited. He knew that the 8 desolate heist gold was inside and he wanted to explore this place. Chapter 528. Demon-slaying sect's treasure, heavenly spiritual treasure. Is this the core of the demon-slaying sect? Upon entering the barrier, Zhou Sui immediately saw the scene inside. In the center of this area stood the 8 Desolations demon sealing tower, a towering black monument that stood several thousand feet tall. It was incredibly ancient and filled with a primitive aura. It was as imposing as a great mountain. Watching it up close was overpowering, like facing a massive black beast. It seemed as though a gentle shaking would release a destructive power that could shatter the heavens and obliterate the earth. Unfortunately, with thousands of years gone by, the demon-slaying sect had long been destroyed. So far, no cultivator had survived. And no one could wield this heavenly spiritual treasure. Surrounding the tower were numerous richly decorated yet ancient-looking palaces that stretched for 100 miles. They seemed to form a seventh-order formation that enveloped the Eight Desolations demon-sealing tower. They served as a barrier, preventing any foes from tackling the tower. Regrettably, these buildings had been ruined and everywhere were the remains of walls and rubble. The ground was pockmarked and broken stones were scattered about. There were even numerous ancient corpses. Indeed, these corpses belonged to disciples of the demon-slaying sect of old times. My God, we really have reached the core of the demon-slaying secret realm. It is said that this place not only seals a large number of demons, but also possesses many of the demon-slaying sect's legacy cultivation techniques and even treasures controlled by the section. If we are fortunate, we may find the pills and thousand-year-old spiritual medicine left behind by the demon-slaying sect. Excitement gleamed in Qianzhun's beautiful eyes. She followed Zhou Sui to test him, to see if he was truly the son of fortune, truly capable of uncovering great opportunities. Who would have thought they would actually manage to enter the core of the demon-slaying secret realm? This was a place the three great demon sects could only dream of entering. But now she had managed to enter so easily. It had to be said that Zhou Sui really was the son of fortune. If one were to follow him, they could gain countless opportunities. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In no time at all, Zhou Sui and Qianzhun had penetrated the palaces. The palaces all had different names: the Scripture Pavilion, Pill Medicine Pavilion, Treasury Pagoda, Practice Pavilion, and so on. Each palace had different functions. Although due to the passage of time and a past great war many of these palaces had suffered severe damage and many disciples of the demon-slaying sect had fallen here. Even so, their main structures were still intact, not thoroughly ruined. We struck rich. This is the spiritual treasure, the lustrous white jade bottle which can protect pills and spiritual medicine from losing their potency. Even after tens of thousands of years, the medicinal power of the pills and herbal medicine inside will not have dissipated much. Did the demon-slaying sect really leave behind so many fourth-stage treasure pills and thousand-year-old spiritual medicines? Qianzhun arrived at the pill medicine pavilion first. It seemed to be unprotected by a prohibition array as she easily pushed open the doors. Inside were neatly arranged white bottles. These were not ordinary bottles, but spatial artifacts. Inside were stored various treasure pills and thousand-year-old spiritual medicines left behind by the demon-slaying sect. Excitement shone in her beautiful eyes, her heart almost leaped out of her chest. After all, advancing to the nascent soul realm, she knew how rare fourth-stage treasure pills were. This made the cultivation of nascent soul cultivators extremely difficult. Even as the sect master of the Sky Demon sect in control of a nascent soul sect, obtaining fourth-stage treasure pills was an exceptionally formidable task. Even if one had the money, they wouldn't necessarily be available for purchase, simply because demand exceeded supply. But now, she had unexpectedly obtained hundreds of bottles of fourth-stage treasure pills and hundreds of the thousand-year-old spiritual medicines at once. The haul was more than what she had gathered in the past hundreds of years. Without a doubt, it was a fortune accumulated overnight. Thinking about this, she couldn't help but look at Zhou Sui. Because not only did she enter the pill medicine pavilion, so did the man in front of her. These pills would certainly need to be shared with him. Even more so, this man would likely take the lion's share. After all, without him, she certainly would not have been able to enter this place. Truthfully, she had no intention of killing him for his treasure. Normally, if she encountered other cultivators, she would undoubtedly have murderous intentions, eliminate any potential competition, and claim all the treasures for herself. But now, she only wanted to share these treasures equally with this man. And even if he took a bit more than her, she was willing. This was completely unlike her original personality. Fellow Daoist Jian, you can take these pills and spiritual medicines. I only need the demon-slaying sex cultivation techniques, and the magical treasures. Zhou Sui gently smiled, addressing Qianzhun. For him, the so-called fourth-stage treasure pills and thousand-year-old spiritual medicines were the easiest things to acquire. With the help of the medicine gu, a tremendous amount of thousand-year-old spiritual medicines could be cultivated at any time. Once his alchemist cultivation improved, he could also refine all these fourth-stage treasure pills. Of course, the most important thing is, he wanted to help Jianzhun improve her cultivation. If this woman could advance to divinity transformation, he would essentially have a partner in the divinity transformation realm. This was like casting a long line to catch a big fish. An early investment. Is this really okay? Hearing this, Jianzhun was dumbfounded. She did not expect the man in front of her to make such a decision. For a nascent soul cultivator, no resource was more precious for cultivation than pills and spiritual medicines. After all, every nascent soul cultivator already had possession of top-level legacy cultivation methods. Even if it's the demon-slaying sect's cultivation methods, it wouldn't necessarily suit them. At this point, it was impossible to change the cultivation methods. Therefore, the legacy of the demon-slaying sect doesn't mean much to the nascent soul cultivators, but at most, it could be used for reference. As for magical treasures, they're not even worth mentioning. Since as nascent soul cultivators, almost everyone possessed a spiritual treasure. Even having a few extra spiritual treasures couldn't enhance a nascent soul cultivator's combat power. Being able to utilize one spiritual treasure well was considered very impressive. Just like a martial artist, having a few more swords wouldn't necessarily make them powerful, would it? Of course, if they were to obtain a heaven-reaching spiritual treasure, that would be different. Its power cannot be matched by common spiritual treasures. The problem was that in the entire cultivation world, there were hardly any heaven-reaching spiritual treasures. Even in the cultivation world of the ancient era, heaven-reaching spiritual treasures were extremely rare and precious, so scarce that you could count them on your fingers. The entire demon-slaying sect only had the 8 Desolation Demon Sealing Tower as a heaven-reaching spiritual treasure. Therefore, she didn't care about those things at all. Pills and spiritual medicines were the resources essential for nascent soul cultivators to achieve Dao. Everything else was trivial by comparison. Because of this, she found Zhou Sui's decision so astonishing. It's okay, I don't need these things very much. If fellow Daoist Jian is satisfied, you can take them all. Consider it as my gift to Master Dai. Zhou Sui gently smiled. Chapter 529. Which man can resist such a test of offering one's body? What? Upon hearing this and seeing Zhou Sui's earnest gaze, Jianzhun's mouth twitched. Suddenly, the pills and 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine in her hands didn't seem so attractive anymore. The implication of Zhou Sui's words was that these medicines seemed beneath him. In other words, he must have vast amounts of pills and 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine on him. Perhaps he has even more than what's present here, which explains his calm demeanor. No wonder her disciple, Chu Dai, has been clinging to him and doesn't want to return to the Sky Demon sect. It's as if she has forgotten the existence of the Sky Demon sect. Apparently, Zhou Sui has ample reserves of 4th-stage treasure pills. Even if she were to return to the Sky Demon sect, she would not receive many cultivation resources. Therefore, it would be better for her to stay with Zhou Sui. That's it. He's a son of fortune. Over the years, who knows how many treasures he's obtained. He might even have entered multiple divinity transformation sites. Given this, it's natural that he doesn't value these pills and 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine. How infuriating! Why is my disciple so fortunate? She's only 200 or 300 years old, but she has met such an ideal suitor who also has explosive luck. Following this man, she may even have a great chance of achieving divinity transformation in the future. Thinking of this, Jianzhun had an increasing desire to possess Zhou Sui. The pills from the demon-slaying sect seemed insignificant now. Getting this man is what really matters. Following this man would bring more than just obtaining a secret realm for divinity transformation like the demon-slaying sect offers. She might even gain more inheritance from divinity transformation secret realms. This man is the real golden goose. The kind that keeps laying golden eggs. Since it's like this, thank you, Mr. Zhou. After all, I haven't made any contributions. I'm overwhelmed by such a generous gift. If you don't mind, you can enjoy a night with me as a reward. I have nothing else to offer but myself. Jianzhun gave Zhou Sui a seductive look, her breath fragrant like orchids. She teasingly loosened her clothes, revealing confident charm and stunning curves. Every move she made was sultry and alluring. As if she was ready to be claimed by Zhou Sui any moment. This sly vixen. Seeing this, Zhou Sui was dazed. This woman was nothing short of a witch, a demoness. Which man could resist such a temptation? If it wasn't for the fact that the obsession Gu's good feelings for her wasn't enough, he would have taken this woman right away. But he knew, she was definitely toying with him. If he really took action, he'd be fooled and it would decrease her feelings for him. And he wouldn't be able to fulfill his desire anyway. Just you wait, when the right time comes, I'll make you, this wily vixen, experience the prowess of my dragon elephant body. Miss Jian, please respect yourself. Zhou Sui's face remained expressionless, his gaze cold as he silently rejected Jian Ziun. You. Hearing this, Jian Ziun was furious. She didn't expect to throw herself at him and still not move him at all. He treated her as if she was an unattractive woman. She had used all her tricks, why did Zhou Sui still remain unmoved? According to the intelligence, Zhou Sui had tens of lovers. He was not a stoic man. Could it be that Zhou Sui is an experienced man, thus immune her allure? All her maneuvers might seem laughable and naive in his eyes, like an adult watching a child play. This thought made her even more furious. As the sect master of Sky Demon Sect, when had she been treated with such disregard, toyed with, or looked down upon by a man? Instead of being discouraged, her fighting spirit soared. No matter what, she would make this man submit under her pomegranate skirt. Whoosh! Zhou Sui, however, ignored Jian Ziun and walked towards the treasury pagoda. According to the knowledge of the object-searching Gu, the 8 desolate heist gold was hidden there. Thud! At this moment, Zhou Sui easily breached the prohibition array. In front of a 5th order formation master, these arrays were nothing. He instantly found their weak points. Next, he directly opened the gate of the treasury pagoda. Immediately, numerous weapons appeared before him. Demon-slaying saber, demon-killing sword, demon-crushing spear, demon-obliterating bow. Each weapon emanated terrifying killing intent. Slay, kill, crush, obliterate. They were weapons specifically made for the slaying of demons. The killing intent was sky-reaching. The hatred was surging. No defensive weapons could be found at all. Each was an offensive weapon with boundless power. No doubt, this was the ideology of the demon-slaying sect: die without life, leave without return, mutual destruction of the enemy and oneself. Boom! The next moment, a huge voice echoed in the treasury pagoda. Possessing the weapons of the demon-slaying sect, you shall kill demons in this life or be purged by the heavenly Dao. Clearly, this was left by a god-transformed honored one. Even after tens of thousands of years, it still reverberates. This. Zhou Sui squinted. He could perceive that these weapons were enveloped in massive killing intent. It seemed that each one was imbued with the endless killing intent and hatred of its previous owner, even bearing bloodstains of numerous demons. Chapter 530. Which man can resist such a test of offering one's body? Even though tens of thousands of years have passed, this kind of aura has not disappeared. One can imagine how fierce was the battle between the human clan, the demon clan, and the beastmen in the ancient era. It was a war of survival between species. Every human cultivator united, only to drive out the demons and beastmen. Even the sacrifice of their own lives was considered worthwhile. That's why the demon-slaying sect did not leave any prohibition arrays in the treasury pagoda. They just hoped that the successors could properly utilize these treasures to slay demons. Regardless of who it is, whether the righteous path or the demonic path, as long as they slaughter demons, they are more than welcome. Anyone can get the treasures they left behind. Found it. This is the 8 desolate heist gold. At this time, Zhou Sui's eyes brightened instantly. He immediately sensed that not only were there treasures in the treasury pagoda, but there were also a large amount of 4th and 5th stage materials. Among them was 8 desolate heist gold. This was dark golden chunks of gold, filled with an ancient and primitive aura, and also contained the power of the heavenly tribulation, which occasionally released crackling purple heavenly tribulation lightning. Apparently, even in the ancient era, 8 desolate heist gold was an extremely precious 5th stage material. It was rumored to be a special material, born out of a heavenly tribulation. It contains the power of the heavenly tribulation. If a bit of 8 desolate heist gold material is added, it can deal great damage to demons and magic beasts. It can easily break the body defense of demons and magic beasts. Therefore, it is extremely precious and rare in the world. Take it all. Zhou Sui was very excited. He didn't care how many treasures were in the treasury pagoda, in any case, just take everything. This is what a thief would do. No matter whether they are of use to him, even if they are not, when sold, they can be exchanged for a large number of spirit stones. Moreover, 8 desolate heist gold indeed has endless uses. It can help him repair the 8 desolation demon sealing array. Splash! Without taking too much time, Zhou Sui had put all the treasures and various 4th stage and 5th stage materials in the treasury pagoda into his storage bag. His plundering was so thorough that even his face seemed clean, and nothing was left behind. He even wanted to take away the doors and windows of the treasury pagoda. Because these doors and windows are made of 1,000-year-old spirit wood, which is extremely precious. Right, there is also the scripture pavilion, which is filled with the inheritance of the demon-slaying sect. Take all of it as well. Zhou Sui also coveted the inheritance of the demon-slaying sect. After all, this was a once nascent soul sect, and it was not hard to imagine how precious its cultivation technique inheritances were, definitely out of the ordinary. Even if he didn't study them himself, he could give them to the bookworm to eat, they could become food for the bookworm. Without saying another word, he immediately broke the prohibition array of the scripture pavilion and entered inside. To obtain the inheritance of my demon-slaying sect signifies becoming a disciple of the demon-slaying sect. In the future, you must take it as your responsibility to slay demons. Drive the demons out of our world completely. Otherwise, we will not rest in peace. At this time, another voice of a god-transformed honored one echoed, filled with immense sorrow, hatred, and despair. Apparently, this was also the last words left behind by the god-transformed honored one of the demon-slaying sect in the past. These inheritances have not left behind anything prohibition array, anyone can take them away. The cultivators of the demon-slaying sect in the past did not care at all if the techniques of their sect were spread out. In fact, they hoped to spread them to every cultivator, enhancing the strength of each cultivator. Only then would there be hope to drive the demons out of the cultivation world. How intense was the war in the ancient era that even God-transformed Honored One had to leave behind last words. But looking at the result, the human clan won. Otherwise, the entire world would have been occupied by demons now. Of course, it seems like the demons are re-emerging now. Zhou Sui squinted his eyes. He couldn't help but think of the blood demon tree on Immortal Mist Island, which was a strong demon, not to be underestimated. Even if it's him now, recalling the demon's aura from the past, he still feels a lingering fear. He doesn't know the situation on Immortal Mist Island now. Truthfully, he wanted to go back to take a look, to meet that blood demon tree. But on second thought, he thought better of it, he didn't want to take unnecessary risks. It would be better to wait for his advancement to divinity transformation, becoming invincible in the human world, then he can explore and it wouldn't be too late. At that time, no matter what enemies he encountered, he could easily deal with them. Boom! Thinking of this, Zhou Sui waved his hand and immediately collected all the heritage jade records here. For the time being, he didn't know what cultivation techniques were in the heritage jade records. After all, now is not the time to study the cultivation techniques of the demon-slaying sect, he will head back to Immortal Mist Peak first. It's cleaned so fast? How can it be so fast? Qianxiun looked at Zhou Sui with a speechless expression. She felt that this man was too efficient, not unlike someone who had done this kind of plundering countless times. In just the blink of an eye, he had already plundered all the treasures from this place. Not even a tiny bit of treasure was left behind. Surely if the cultivators of the demon-slaying sect came back to life and saw this, they would cry. Well, practice makes perfect. Zhou Sui replied nonchalantly. This. Qianxiun looked at this man with a strange expression. Just as she had guessed, this man had plundered the treasures of nascent soul relics so many times that he had even had experience in doing so. It could only be said that this man's luck was too against the heavens. She didn't know how many nascent soul relics he had plundered. For an ordinary cultivator, having such an opportunity once would already be extremely lucky.